Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 30th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the sun's rays coming across the lower 48 as we speak to Arizona, California. Check out the Kona Low out there over the Hawaiian Islands. There's flooding ongoing now, so if you have any concerns or are traveling out there, heads up for that. You can see the system moving across Southern California here, and it's going to bring some precipitation across some of areas of Southern California and Arizona. We'll look at those details here. We got another system riding over the top of this ridge, going to bring some snowfall for the higher terrain as well. We'll look at those impacts also as we go through the video today. We'll also take a look at the extended forecast towards the end of the video as well. This day in SoCal weather history, 1982. Check it out. Big winds, 900 trees within Los Angeles city limits alone came down. Major beach erosion, and 12 people were killed by this storm. Major storm back in 1982. 2007, big rainfall occurred as well on November 30th. And just a reminder for El Nino, I get a lot of questions about, well, where's El Nino? Why isn't it going on yet? And a lot of times El Nino does not show its face until January, February, or even March for a lot of areas of California here. But that does not mean we're not going to get weather systems before that occurs. And we'll take a look at that a little bit in the extended forecast here upcoming here. I am working on a new El Nino update video where I'll explain some of that stuff also. Rainfall through Friday, you can see Southern California kind of targeted here. San Diego Metro, maybe 1/10 of an inch or two. And some of the higher terrain, you can see Julian up over an inch. The 10, the 15 getting some rainfall as we go on in through Friday morning, and some better amounts the higher you go across that higher terrain. Look at the potential rainfall for Arizona. You can see Parker, Blythe, and Yuma, Phoenix, Casa Grande here. So yeah, they need some rainfall out there. There is still some drought conditions here across Arizona, and anything would be beneficial this time of year. Active weather through the weekend. National Weather Service, Reno, Nevada here. Probably the biggest impacts is through tonight into tomorrow morning. Some snow down to the valleys here during the Friday morning commute. And, it doesn't take much to cause some slick roadways here. And then potentially another system kind of impacting things through the weekend here. Nothing too crazy right now, but on the higher terrain out there, we could be looking at some snowfall amounts up over 4 inches. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station to watch the weather at your place of residence, this is a good one. You can save 10% off. And this thing's all solar powered and wireless. Got a great smartphone app, stores all the data for you in the cloud. Highly recommend. Take a look at the GFS. This is running as we speak, the 12Z run. So you can see some of the precipitation across Southern California and Arizona as we go through the nighttime hours into Friday morning. And did you see that? Some snow coming today for some of the Sierra Nevada. There it is right there. And that could be impacting things, again, down towards Reno as we go through Friday morning, clipping northern Nevada as well. And you can kind of see northwest California being included in some of these storms moving into the Pacific Northwest. And then we scroll on in through Saturday. Now we're into Saturday evening here. And you can see trying to include some of northwest California, and maybe some snow for the higher terrain continues a bit there. But then we turn things a bit warmer and we get the southwest flow, strong atmospheric river into the Pacific Northwest as we go through early next week, kind of leaving a lot of California high and dry, but this could be impacting again places like Crescent City at times. Then we scroll off a bit more and you can see this active weather pattern for the Pacific Northwest, not impacting California too much just yet, but we'll take a look at the extended forecast here coming up towards the end of the video. Looking at total precipitation on inches here on the European, you can see the rainfall. It's going to be falling during the day today for Southern California, some of Arizona, Sierra Nevada, Northern California there. And again, snow for the higher terrain as we go on in through Friday morning for a lot of these areas. And there could even be a little bit of snow down towards Southern California mountains. We'll show that high resolution model here in a moment. Now, as we go on into next early portion of next week, you can see Crescent City, for example, in some places trying to bring some precip a little bit further down the coastline. You can't rule out a few showers here over the next couple of days, even for places like the Bay Area or the Central Coast. Now, taking a look at the 80-meter wind speeds here. There's a wind advisory out for the Mojave slopes, and you can see some gusty winds as we go through this afternoon and evening. Strong winds down the coastline there. Gusty winds across the higher terrain of Southern California out of the west there also. Yeah, and kind of a typical pattern here through the fall period with some strong winds across the higher terrain, as you can see. And if we look at total snow, Kuchera ratio in inches, I'll put this into motion. You can see some of that snow flying across some of the higher peaks, and you can see it getting down towards the Southern California mountains a bit here. It should just be on the higher peaks here, but just a heads up for that. And you can kind of see northern Nevada, northern California, and some of the higher peaks of the Sierra Nevada probably getting 4+ inches out of this system. And things start to wrap up as we go through the weekend as far as snow is concerned. Now, looking at San Diego International, right now the mean is at 1/10 of an inch here, so hopefully we can squeeze 1/10 of an inch out of here. Better amounts as you go across the higher terrain off to the east. This is Campo, a little bit further to the south and east, higher terrain there as well. And the control run actually showed 9/10 of an inch there. Lake Tahoe, this is snow, so we're going back north. You can see some snow may be falling here at the airport, and better amounts again across the higher terrain. Reno, same thing here. Maybe some slick roadways as we go through Friday morning, but for the most part, the biggest snow amounts are going to be higher terrain stuff here with this round. Mount Shasta, a couple rounds here, maybe a couple inches at time is falling. Truckee, Tahoe, you can see not a big snow event incoming here, but again, watch out for the higher terrain. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, the control run didn't show any precipitation this last round, but some of the ensembles have bigger amounts in here, and the mean is just over 2/10 of an inch of rain. So cross your fingers across portions of Arizona for the higher amounts. Casa Grande off to the south and east a bit here. Better rainfall amount showed up in the control run here, and still some ensemble agreement there with about 3/10 of an inch being the mean. Here's Grand Canyon National Park Airport here. A couple tenths of an inch might be squeezed out as we go through this afternoon and evening, and kind of wrapping up as we go through the weekend there. Looking at the daily max 2-meter temperature national blend of, actually, yes, this is the national blend of models. So you can kind of see low 60s here as we go through the day today. Cooling down a bit tomorrow, and you can see nice comfortable temperatures out there, by the way, for a lot of areas. But we are going through a gradual warming trend as we go through the early portion of next week. Check it out. Maybe some low 80s returning to Southern California here and warming up across some of the desert areas, and then maybe dropping back down a little bit here as we go towards the end of the forecast. We'll worry about that over the next couple of days. Daily min 2-meter temperature. You can see the chilly air across some of the mountainous areas here. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you can kind of see your overnight lows here across there. Some nice, you're getting a nice cool down here at this time of year across a lot of the Southwest. Definitely a change from what happens during the summertime. Then you can see some cooler air maybe arriving as we go through the extended forecast. Now looking at the GFS, this is the 06Z run. This is the ensemble mean. There goes the system that's bringing some of that precip across Southern California and Arizona. And this is the next one kind of bringing that impulse for the snow across the higher terrain. And then one more as we go through the weekend here. But then we start to build some ridging as the atmospheric rivers and the strong storms move into the Pacific Northwest on in through early next week. And if we scroll out far enough, you'll notice that some of the signs for some lowering heights do exist out over the Pacific Ocean here. Is that a sign of the subtropical jet stream getting going here through the mid portion of December? Potentially, and the models have been hinting at this. Long-range models have been hinting at this, so we'll continue to watch it. Right now, it's just fantasy, but you can see that it could start to bring maybe some systems a little bit further south and impact California towards the mid portion of December. Here's the 6 to 10 day, and you can kind of see the sharp cutoff from Central California northbound versus Southern California, Arizona, and New Mexico, and this is 8 to 14 days, something similar there as well. We'll continue to break this down day by day and watch for those systems. This is the drought monitor here. So while California is drought free, just a couple abnormally dry places here. I mean, remember that is just a sweet deal right there. But Arizona and New Mexico are going through some severe and extreme drought out there, and there's still some moderate drought across extreme South Nevada there as well. So just a heads up for that. This rainfall coming for Arizona over the next day or so is extremely beneficial, and some of that rain will be falling across New Mexico also. And this is actually issued a few days ago. This is week 3 to 4 precipitation outlook. You can see the Climate Prediction Center actually picking up on some of that subtropical moisture is showing up in some of the extended runs here. So they do have California with some above average potential here. This goes December 9th through the 22nd. But anyway, yeah, so if you guys are traveling out to Hawaii, remember that Kona low out there. It's bringing some pretty heavy precipitation across the area. Watch out across some of the higher peaks. I know I have a lot of people watching the channel here that are off in the backcountry there as well, and some of that snow may be impacting you here. And you could even get, like I mentioned, some snow across the highest peaks of Southern California here. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow and break everything down again, and I will talk to you guys then.